All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Soul of the Skull. Here we are on this beautiful Thursday to talk about the Vikings' first week of free agency. What else will they do? All that kind of good stuff. And Big Lou has texted me. Oh, I think he just deleted the text because it just disappeared from my phone. He unsent a message. We'll see. We'll see how that shakes out. We're gonna see how many people we had on today. And yeah. Oh, he just texted me. Yeah, I'll be on it for a bit. See that, guys? Big Lou will be on for a bit.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Big Lou will be on at some point coming up. So that said, I talked with Sam Monday night. I talked with Matt on Tuesday, and we just looked at the free agency and whatnot. And we can ask Big Lou what he thinks about the moves and stuff. But we're going to start by, we're going to go around. Everybody can share what grade would you give the Vikings thus far throughout free agency. And actually, we have a guest, Big Lou. Big Lou with the cut. Wow, looks fresh.
Oh, he's muted.
I think you're muted, Big Lou.
Yeah, I was. I can only be on until like 2:30. I got some stuff I got to do, but I'll be on for a bit.
You just get that haircut?
Before last weekend, I had drill this past weekend.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't think you were on the last episode with that yet.
No.
I would have recognized it. All right. Big Lou, since you're here, I did an episode Monday night with Sam I did an episode on Tuesday with Matt. I haven't done one with you in a bit. So I'm going to ask you, Big Lou, what do you think about the fact that Kirk Cousins is now a Falcon on a 4-year, $180 million deal with $100 million guaranteed?
Based on everything that I saw and what the Vikings are doing with everything else, I think it's the right move to do because they freed up a bunch of cap space. I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate that we lose someone like Kirk Cousins, who I personally really liked as a quarterback there. But with the money that he got from the Falcons, for him, I think it was a no-brainer going to the Falcons over us because we couldn't offer him that type of money, especially a long-term, like a 4-year deal like that. But it seems like the first 2 years are kind of the guaranteed money of it, if that's what I saw on the contract. But I like that the Vikings didn't re-sign him because they have the money for all the other positions.
Big Lou, you say you like that? Then I have something for you.
You like that? You like that? You like that? You like
Oh, it's on loop. Hold on.
You like
All right, we're
that?
good. No, that's the last one. I accidentally had it on loop. But yeah, good to hear you. For the most part, me and these two guys have pretty much agreed that Kirk is definitely a good player, but it's about the direction of the team in the future and keeping that in mind. So we can all pretty much simultaneously agree that it was a pretty good decision to let the Falcons pay what they paid, and the Vikings can now look into the future and what they want to do next. With that, there's been talk about the Falcons tampering for ages. That's been a topic, and no one makes a big deal out of it because every team tampers. Vikings probably did that with Jonathan Grenard because they signed him like right after the window opened. So I'm sure they were too. But Kirk made it a bit public. I believe it was last night during his press conference. He said something about meeting with their trainers and stuff, which I think was before the allowed time. So the league said they're going to investigate potential tampering with the Falcons. They're also going to do this with the Eagles and Saquon Barkley. I mean, I guess I don't know what there is to take away from this. I think the Ravens had this. I was looking in like 2013. They had the same thing with Jeremy Maclin. Sometimes I forget about Jeremy Maclin. He was like, what a guy he was.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know how much there is to deem from this because sure, every team does it. So to me, it's not that big of a deal. It's more Kirk's problem because he was just dumb by publicly mentioning this. That's on him.
Yeah, what I think is the NFL is going to investigate this, but I really don't think anything will come out of it because you think every team does because teams want to get this stuff figured out. Like Kirk wants to know his options before the deadline because the Vikings want to get rid of him by the cutoff for the dead cap, whatever, re-signed by them. But Kirk also wants to have his plan by then. So I don't really like the NFL ruling on this, that they're not really supposed to communicate with other teams. That just seems kind of dumb to me. So I just think the NFL shouldn't really do anything about these investigations.
I think the NFL should just get rid of the tampering window because it's the dumbest thing we've ever seen. A legal tampering window. They're tampering all of the combine. Just get rid of it.
Absolutely.
But
I think it's
knows?
beneficial for the players to have this window to explore their options, like kind of which team's going to pay me more so I don't hurt this one team by not like signing with another. And it'd be a like cleaner system and not big of a mess if they got rid of it.
Maybe it would just be better if they just moved up the tampering window. So it wasn't 2 days before free agency, and instead it was any time between the Super Bowl and the combine.
Yeah,
In that range.
I wouldn't be opposed to opening it just the Monday after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because then you get because then obviously teams still can go through playoffs and work with teams that are out or didn't have a good season. They still have time to like reassess. So maybe like a week after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you don't have a tampering, you still need it because in season, like, you don't want players negotiating with other teams. Obviously, we're kind of seeing that happening with college football right now, and it's just a complete mess. So I think having a tampering like time where you can't like talk to other teams is good, but it shouldn't start on like the Monday before free agency, like you said. And
Yeah. So I think the NFL is saying they're going to look into it because they kind of have to. It's a bad look if they just don't do anything about it. But I feel like they're really not actually going to do anything about it, because if they do anything about it, then the owners and everyone is going to expect them to do something every time. So they're going to accuse each other of tampering, and then the league's going to look into it. But they don't want to do anything because they're going to have to do it every time. So they're saying they're going to do it. Is anything actually going to happen from it? Probably not. Maybe it will, though. Maybe it will, and just because those two are like public, so it was kind of their fault. Every other team did a better job of covering it up than they did, so maybe they'll get punished just for that. Maybe it's just the league's way of saying, don't be public about the fact that you're doing what you're doing. Or, like we just said, the ultimate perfect world would just be move up the tampering window, so it's not right before. But with that said, Big Lou, anything you know about Sam Darnold? Anything you'd like to share about him? Anything about the vision in the future?
I really don't know anything about Sam Darnold, but there's something here that I just saw. It's the Vikings are the favorites to draft both J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penix Jr. Like, but that's their favorite for both.
Yeah.
Which I think is a little interesting, but yeah, I really don't have anything to add about Sam Darnold. I don't personally know too much about him, but I do think he'll be a decent bridge quarterback for how cheaply we got him.
I didn't have the chance to speak on Darnold, so I can say.
We filmed that before. We speculated bridge quarterbacks, but that was before. Kwesi did it at midnight. He was scared of the fans getting mad. Just kidding. I have no idea, but it could be what it is.
Who knows? I mean, these guys are signing during that day was just like constant. Even yesterday, up until like yesterday, it was crazy. But Darnold, obviously a high pick coming out of USC. His coach, all his coaches love how hard he works. They love him. His trainer talks about this. The guy he did his pre-draft stuff with talks about how much of a work ethic this guy has. And even though his NFL career hasn't really panned out, this is really kind of a Kwesi guy. And looking back on it, like I understand why they signed him over maybe someone else. But overall, I mean, who knows? This Darnold hasn't panned out in the NFL, and frankly, he has been pretty much terrible everywhere he's been. And the Vikings, obviously, he's not Kirk Cousins. The quarterback play is going to be worse this year, and that's something Vikings fans have to get ready for. And with Darnold, I think it's going to be really, really important just for him to have his guys around him, Jefferson, Hawkinson, whenever he gets back, Addison, Johnny Munt. It's going to have to be Johnny Munt, Aaron Jones. So there are people around him, and this is probably the best supporting cast he's had. And there was some promise. I went back and watched some of the tape from his start he made at the end of the season in that meaningless game with the Niners, and there was some stuff I really liked in there. There's some stuff that was So hopefully, he doesn't have to start too long. In a perfect world, he doesn't play at all, right? We have a rookie quarterback who's ready to go day one, and we just go in and just roll with them. And then he plays well the entire season, doesn't have to get benched or anything. And Darnold never sees the field. But my guess, and I think probably all of ours, is he's going to start at some point, probably week 1 through whoever knows how long. And that's kind of my take on him.
Mhm.
What's the guaranteed on him? I don't know exactly what.
It's a good question.
5, 6,
Like, what are the details of his contract exactly?
I have over the cap up right now. I'll see if I can find him on here. He has a $2.5 million base salary. Let's see if what his guaranteed salary is only his base salary, $2.5 million. So low guarantees. Unless I have that wrong, but that's what over the cap reads on his stuff. You know what's kind of crazy I was looking at? I told this to, I think, Matt. I don't know, it was either last night or a couple nights ago. I was talking to him. The Vikings only have 6 players with a cap number above $10 million. That's kind of crazy. Brian O'Neill, Justin Jefferson, Harrison Smith, TJ Hawk, Byron Murphy, and Sam Darnold. Those are their 6. And Harrison Smith might be under that, but I think he's still he'll still be above that, even with his pay cut. He'll still be above the 10, but
I like that because it seems like the Vikings are going and trending towards the younger side of things, but they can also now afford like a big payday for Jefferson and maybe bring on a couple other like defense guys in free agency or even from trades to help us develop and maybe get a couple veterans in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, currently also next year, the Vikings, as of right now, next year they have $130 million in cap space. Granted, that number is going to go down because there's going to be probably, obviously, assuming the Justin Jefferson extension, Christian Darrisaw is going to get an extension too. And they only have 28 players that are under contract next year, so it's going to go down. But, I mean, that's still, they're probably still going to have around $100 million when free agency starts, if not just a little bit under. So they'll have a lot of money to spend. And this year they only had about 30 million, we'll say, a little over that. So they'll really be able to make splash signings next year. For anyone that's wondering on a cap update, over the cap has them listed with $18 million right now. That number is going to go down because Grenard's contract is not in there. Bullard's contract is not in there. The guy they signed today isn't in there. And I believe the kicker Romo is also not in there. So it'll go down a little bit, but it'll still be a little bit enough to get by.
So you said 30 million for next year, correct?
That's what it is as of right now. That's what they have.
And it's only, that seems like a ton, like extreme amount. Like, is that like super high for like in the grand scheme of things? That like with other teams? I don't know exactly.
Let's see what teams had entering free agency this year. Entering free agency. Because, yeah. How much cap space does each team have entering free agency? The most, I believe, was the Commanders, if I remember right. Commanders had $86.7 million heading into this year, and they were the most in the NFL. So the Vikings aren't going to stay at 130 because they're going to have extensions and new contracts and stuff's going to happen, but it's still going to be a very significant amount. Sam O has something to say. Should I play the video for this?
Do it. Yes.
Does it warrant the video? All right, I got to throw that down. Let's do it. Here we go.
Top free agent corner Kendall Fuller goes off the board, going to Miami.
Ooh,
so another big name off the board for corners free agency. 2 years, $16.5 million. So another possible prospect off the board.
I was just gonna say, have you guys seen that the Vikings have had interest in L'Jarius Sneed? Imagine if they traded for L'Jarius Sneed along with the other additions they made on Monday and Tuesday. That would be just like godly. But I mean, they'll have to give him a big extension anyway.
And they'd have to trade. Yeah, he's under the franchise tag.
Franchise tag. That's what I meant. But yeah, I saw something that said one team on Twitter. Again, this is all just kind of like speculation a little bit. there was a team that got connected to him, and there was speculation that they threw a 3rd-round pick out. That's it for L'Jarius Sneed. I would do that. He's like one of the best corners in the NFL right now, I'd say. So I would.
Yeah.
I would
L'Jarius,
definitely do that.
and after he played in the postseason too, I mean, just crazy mental. He went insane. I mean,
And
no
he
one
was
can
a
catch
lower
anything.
round pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, a lot of those corners are. I feel like. I don't know what that is. I would like to see a signed Chidobe Awuzie from Cincy, but he went to the Titans, I believe. So he's
L'Jarius
also off
Sneed,
the board.
L'Jarius Sneed was a 4th-round pick. Seeing him in the Super Bowl make big plays just made me think about the Vikings and their inability to draft corners. Like, they're drafting all these guys in the 1st and 2nd round, and they're not doing anything. And the Chiefs have 4th-round dude just making plays in the Super Bowl. Like, yeah.
I mean, a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys, especially on defense. I feel like that are later round picks that end up panning out. So.
So yeah, that's that there.
I kind of agree with Sam there. That seems like a lot of guys recently are like kind of like hidden there. You got Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, is doing phenomenal. Seems like there's been a lot of these kind of sleepers there that have really shown a lot of talent lately. And I just hope the Vikings can snag a couple of those here in the coming years.
We're going to look up the Chiefs depth chart and go through it. I think that might be interesting here. Obviously, they have Patrick Mahomes, who is Patrick Mahomes, so he is who he is. Did you guys know that the Chiefs have Ian Book as their 3rd-string quarterback? At least last year they did. I did not know that till right now.
Who?
Ian Book. He's the
Notre Dame legend.
Notre Dame guy, yeah. Didn't he start one game, maybe?
For the Saints, yeah.
Yeah. I remember that happening. Like, the Chiefs have Isaiah Pacheco, 7th-round pick. He's their starting running back. After they took Clyde Edwards-Helaire just a couple of years back in the 1st round, and it did not work out at all. But their franchise went back nowhere because they're able to get Pacheco and hit on that. Sometimes I forget about the Clyde Edwards-Helaire pick just because like they covered it up so well and they did such a good job with it.
I thought he was going to be super good in the NFL too, but I think partially was that he was on the best offense in the history of college football. But I love him.
Didn't he play like one really good season and really fell off a couple years ago?
Like that. Yeah, he still plays a little. He still sees the field. It's just not what a 1st-round pick should be.
And then, like, we look at the receiving core, and they've got Rashee Rice, Kadarius Toney. You can say what you want about Kadarius Toney. Everyone can laugh a little bit when they hear that name. They got Justin Watson, Sky Moore. I mean, Rashee Rice was a 2nd-round pick, and Sky Moore was, like 3rd or 4th, if I remember right. Everyone else on that list is pretty much irrelevant. It's kind of fair to say. So... that's that.
Potential
vice president Aaron Rodgers.
Is that a real tweet?
Is that legit?
Yes. It's like from a long time ago, but it just went on my Twitter feed.
I would love to show that on air, but unfortunately we can't. So
yes,
if you're curious, it's just an old Aaron Rodgers tweet that is not family appropriate.
About his cat.
Yeah, it's about his cat. So
yeah.
A lot of you have probably seen it.
That's your hints. And then, like, so then we look at the Chiefs' offensive line. Their left tackle listed here, Wanya Morris. Don't even know who that is. I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. He was a 3rd-round pick in 2023. Then they've got Joe Tooney, who's been around since, like, 2003, it feels like. Creed Humphrey. I remember him coming out of college. Creed Humphrey was a 2nd-round pick. They've got Trey Smith. He was a 6th-round pick by Casey in 2021. And then Juwan Taylor, who's gotten a lot of flack on this podcast for being the most penalized player in the NFL. But they still won the Super Bowl. But I mean, yeah, you just look around and they've got so many non-big name players on here. I mean, they've Matt Dickerson, Cam Jones, Nick Bolton's kind of known now, but for a while he wasn't.
Yeah.
Brian Cook, starting free safety. Don't even know him. Second round pick in 2022. So that's kind of that, I guess. So I guess unless anyone else has anything on that, we can move into the next topic, which is kind of the news that happened last night. So the news that happened last night was Vikings legend and soon-to-be potential Ring of Honor, not soon-to-be, maybe Ring of Honor member someday.
No, he's Ring of Honor.
Probably Ring of Honor, maybe Hall of Famer. We'll just have to see. His name is Harrison Smith, and last night he took a restructure, which is not actually restructure, it's a pay cut. So Harrison Smith took a $5 million pay cut, and we have somebody who is visiting. There he is. We're going to throw that off screen because there's just too much going on. A lot of things. Mustache boy Sam is here.
The whole gang's back together.
It's 2 times this last month. That's crazy.
Yeah, when's the last time we've done this? All of us been
too
on.
long ago, actually.
It's been a while. A couple weeks at least.
So, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of that. And now that we have that going, hurry up. I'm waiting for someone to reply to something I just sent. Oh, never mind. I forgot. We're plotting something on here, and so we can all just ignore what just happened. So Sam hasn't been on here, and he hasn't been on here since the free agency, whatnot. We just pulled Big Lou about Kirk Cousins. Anything you have to say about the Kirk Cousins signing to the Falcons in that contract? Anything about that?
I personally think that they're paying him way too much money. $180 million for 4 years for a 35-year-old quarterback who just is coming off of a torn Achilles tendon is insane. You know, proud of Kirko. He went and got his bag, but goodness gracious. I think is it 130 something million guaranteed?
It's 100 million guaranteed out of the 180.
Which is ridiculous. And he'll probably make up to around the 160, 170 mark too. So yeah, that's a lot of money. I'm sad to see Kirk go, but there's no way we could afford him if that's the money that he was looking for. Now,
Well said.
Sam God tier arm Darnold, all right? Hear me out. I think he's going to be a good bridge. I do. You know, whoever we draft with our 11, unless we trade up in the draft, whether it be McCarthy, whether it be, you know, Penix, whether it be Bo Nix, whoever it is, you know, they'll probably sit like Will Levis did for a couple weeks, and then eventually.
Oh my God! No one cares, Samsy. Shut up.
That was new.
We're evolving on this podcast.
Oh,
Dang.
You like that? You like that?
I love that.
Where's that you like that coming from?
Joel's got his magic.
Also, fun fact, Kwesi and Kevin are live right now, so I'll have to listen to that later. They're introducing the new free agents right now, so I'll have to listen to that later. Hopefully, we'll see what's real. Also, Cordero Patterson, if this is his real account, he just tweeted 2 hours ago, ATL, it's been real, so.
so he's a Viking?
I don't know, that was the first thing that showed up on my Twitter is him saying that. So, yeah, that looks like it's his actual account, so. But, yeah, I guess we'll see. He's around now. So that's that, and that's why I was distracted earlier, because Matt was trying to tell me when, but we were making sure it was a time when you were talking, Sam, and you've just been roasted.
Sorry, I was yapping.
Yeah, you were, and yeah. So where even were we?
Oh, we were talking about Sam Big Arm Darnold.
I don't know exactly what Sam was talking about, but when he got interrupted by the breaking news, but
I was saying that I think Darnold's going to be a good bridge.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think he'll
agree.
be good for the first half of the season until we start our new rookie.
I completely agree with that.
So that's that. And then also, so we were talking about Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith, I'll apologize to Mr. Matt. I complained last night to him. I said Kwesi was cooking until I saw that Harrison Smith took a restructure, because normally that just means the player restructures it so they take a signing bonus. For anyone unfamiliar, signing bonus is money the player gets paid right away, but then it gets prorated across the cap, which means the money gets divided evenly amongst the rest of the years. So pretty much it's what teams do to shove money into the future so that their cap hit for this year is less. So when I saw that, I got a bit triggered until last night. I did see he's reducing his base salary, which does mean a pay cut, even though it is labeled as a restructure. It is a $5 million pay cut. So he took one last offseason. I believe he went from 14 million to about 7 million. This year I just had his contract up and I put it down. I got to find it again now. Harrison Smith contract. I think it was 11 million, unless I'm dumb. All right, here it is. I have it up. His base salary was 14 million and it's going down to 9. So it's a $5 million pay cut. So I had my doubts at first, but now that I know it's a pay cut, not a restructure, clap for Harrison Smith, Vikings legend. And then I saw this last night too, is that the Vikings might have been strategic with doing this right around Kirk Cousins' press conference with the Falcons, because they're showing that Harrison Smith is willing to take one for the team, but Kirk isn't. So maybe they did that on purpose. Maybe they didn't. Maybe it's just a coincidence that the timing of this. And yeah, I'll also read this.
Is there any truth behind the tampering for Kirk and Saquon?
For the Falcons, they're at least going to look into it. I don't know anything about this whole Saquon deal.
Okay.
NFL said they were going to look into it, but whether that means they're actually going to do something about it or not remains to be seen. But they at least acknowledged it.
What even can they do about it?
Take away.
So the one that I was seeing is, can't they give Cardinal or the Falcons picks to the Vikings?
I don't know if they can do that. Either way, they probably wouldn't do that. Again, basing that off of what happened years ago with the Macklin, that's what a lot of people are equating this to, because it's a pretty similar situation. I think that they would just forfeit the pick, because this also happened a couple of years back. I don't know if you guys remember this, the Dolphins tampered with Tom Brady. I remember that happening, and I think it was a first-round pick that got taken away from them too. They might have with Bill Belichick too. Maybe it was both. I know for sure Tom, and the Patriots didn't receive anything for it. It just simply was taken away, and then there's only 31 picks in the round. So that would probably be what happened. Never know. We'll just have to see. Randy Lewis is up in here. What's up, Randy? What's up, Randy? We're talking about that. Are you talking about by the way, Randy, we're just going to ask you, are you talking about the draft picks? Is that what your question here is? Also, I'm reading this tweet. It's about the press conference, so this might be important. Kwesi was asked if Kirk Cousins leaving locks the Vikings into needing to draft a quarterback this year. Kwesi said, "I would not say that." Says they have flexibility. Of course he's going to say that. If he says, yes, they are locked in, then everyone's going to target them. But take what you will from that. They can take picks or make them swap picks 8 for 11 in the first if they choose to. Can they actually do that? We'd have to look at the NFL guidelines, because I don't know what the NFL guidelines are. That'd be interesting. Then the Vikings could take both those and move up and not sell their entire farm of the future. But that's all just speculation. So, anyone else got anything to say about the Harrison Smith stuff?
No.
Good man.
He's a team player.
Absolutely. And
most loyal player in the NFL.
I'm still surprised that Harrison Smith did this, honestly. I thought either he was going to retire or he was going to just sign a cheap deal with someone else and chase a ring with a cheap salary. But He's trying to chase a ring with Minnesota, but he's not going to get it this year. But maybe in a couple, if everything works out like it's being planned to. Randy says they can and have in the past, but it doesn't happen often. I don't doubt that. Is there any examples? We're basing everything, and pretty much every report is being based off the Jeremy Maclin deal, which happened with the Ravens years ago, and they took away the pick. They didn't give it to anyone else. So just wondering if we can find an example of this happening. But whatever. While we do that, we can look into the next thing. The Vikings signed a defensive tackle today, finally. They put some meat up on the front of the defensive line. I'll be honest, I don't know anything really about Jerry Tillery. He was a former first-round pick, so very Kwesi thing to have happen. As far as, is he good? Is he not? Really have no idea. But it's only a 1 year, $3.5 million deal, so it's not, there's a little chance of it really like failing catastrophically, if you see what I'm saying.
So his most productive season so far was 2021 with the Chargers, where he had 4.5 sacks with 27 total tackles, 51 total tackles. It looks like in 2022 and 2020, in 2022 he got traded halfway through the season from the Chargers to the Raiders, and actually only totaled 18 tackles the whole season. He doesn't look like he's done a ton with his career.
He's in the same boat with like every player Kwesi has ever signed. First, second round pick, didn't work out. Maybe they'll work here. Pretty much Sam Darnold right now is in the exact same boat, but we'll just have to see. But I'd say I like this move because there's like no downside to it. It's a cheap deal, had potential at least at one time. Probably still I'd say does have potential because it was recent. No reason not to, in my opinion, but that's just me. So Kwesi continues to cook, and because of that, let Kwesi cook. And yeah, that's that. Anyone else got anything on that they'd like to share? Okay, with that said, we can look over here at predictions. We didn't do any new predictions, but we're going to look at the past predictions. And I can probably throw this off screen now. So we're going to... There it is. So here it is. You guys can see the screen, right? Okay, good. I didn't hear any of those. So we had predictions come off. We didn't do any new ones because everyone kind of forgot until the last minute. So don't want to whip together some bad predictions. So we look around. We got some green. We got a lot of red as well.
We have another comment from Randy Lewis.
All right, I'll look at it. Randy says, Cards and Eagles had to swap thirds last year for tampering, but not sure for what. I think it was Jonathan Gannon. Also, that comment, I think, covered Sam Z's face.
Good. I don't want to
The
see
icon
it.
did.
Wow.
It's kind of funny. But I'm pretty sure it's for Jonathan Gannon. Now that you say that, I feel like I remember that happening. I could be wrong. If you want to look that up, that would be wonderful. But I'm pretty sure that's what it was for. So we look here. Here's the predictions. I said Baker would re-sign for at least $27 million, and he did for $33. Good for Baker for being able to get a $33 million contract out of pretty much one productive season. But he was very productive last year, so good for him. I'm not hating on Baker Mayfield.
Baker got his bag.
Baker got the bag. Took him a bit to get it, but Baker did finally get the bag. I also said Kirk's next contract, 2025, would be fully guaranteed, and it is. Let's see if there's any other notable ones I have. Let's speculate. Who do we think could hit for this one? I said at least one Viking player or coach would be arrested or pulled over publicly during the offseason. Who do we think is a candidate for this happening?
Let's just say who isn't.
That's a good point.
I mean, I don't think O'Connell or Flores would be in the spotlight there, but
No, they both seem like
I think they're both
nice,
smart enough to avoid
good guys.
stuff.
I could see, for some reason, I could just see it on Wes Phillips doing it again. I just could. I don't know why. I would think the Vikings would almost have to let him go if he did it again, though. What do you guys think? If you get a DWI twice, that's a red flag for a coach. But
yeah.
maybe not. Maybe that's just me.
That would be a problem.
If we look at the team, I feel like Justin Jefferson could get pulled over for speeding. He has been pulled over for speeding before. If you guys didn't know, actually, I think Sam Z is the one who introduced me to this back in high school. There's a place where you can look up like court records. There's a website. You remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked up
Minnesota, though.
Okay,
That
it's
doesn't
only in
really
Minnesota.
matter.
Maybe other states have it, but
Other
Florida
states do have
definitely
it, but the one
does.
I sent you was specifically Minnesota.
I looked up Justin Jefferson one time, and he's been pulled over once or twice for speeding. But the difference between that is I'm not going to go and look up every single person. It's more about, is there going to be a news article about something that we see? Like a Jordan Addison deal, a Wes Phillips deal, an Oli Udo back in their bye week couple years back. But so yeah, I will not go through every player to try and get that point. It's, will we find a news article to back it up? And yeah, that's that there. Also, I said the Dallas Cowboys would have a top 5 scoring defense in 2024. That's definitely happening now that they have Eric Kendricks. Just kidding, but still.
I can't believe that he decided to switch from the Niners to the Cowboys. Like,
I've got 2 words for you.
Mike
Zimmer. That's why.
Yeah.
but he could have got a ring.
He
But
could.
the Eagles are probably
Can't
going to
win
the
the
Super
big
Bowl
game.
next year, but
Who'd you say you think's going to the Super Bowl?
probably the Eagles, dude. Dude, their offense is completely unstoppable.
Yeah.
But what if Nick
how
Sirianni has another
Only one that can
implosion?
stop him, though.
Okay, the only thing holding them back is their head coach. That's it. Other than that, it's literally like, how do you stop the read option of Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts, or
How do you
the
stop the read
RPO
option?
and also have AJ Brown as a target? Like, what are you doing? How are you stopping that?
How are you stopping
don't.
Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry?
Right, exactly. You're not stopping that either. But the problem with that is that Lamar's receivers, like, he has Zay Flowers and who else?
Odell just got cut,
Yeah,
so Rashad Bateman, but he's very inconsistent.
he's so inconsistent. He barely even counts as a
Nelson
reliable
Aguilar.
Nelson Aguilar.
Does he play
Yeah,
there?
he's going to lead
still
them
on
to
the
the Super Bowl.
roster. They have Mark
Nelson
Andrews.
Aguilar,
They're
come
not
on,
gonna be
baby. You
running
know
them.
who Nelson Aguilar is.
No, I.
They do have Nelson Aguilar.
We were catching them babies, unlike Aguilar.
Wow.
Does no one remember that quote?
No,
No.
I have to pull it up after stream.
You're the oldest one here. You're a dinosaur compared to us.
dinosaur.
Yeah, that happens.
Are you the most experienced though?
No. Not even
Probably.
close.
Yeah.
Me and Big Lou are in the basement.
Yep.
All right.
So Sam Z, what did you get read?
That one had a possibility of hitting.
It did.
Exactly one of either Daniil Hunter, Justin Jefferson, or Kirk would not come back to the Vikings this year. Obviously, Kirk and Daniil are both gone. So that's red. I thought Kirk was probably coming back when I said that because that was like a month ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot changed in that month. For a while, it seemed like, yeah, Kirk is definitely going to be back. And then it just went like, no, Kirk's not coming back.
Mm-hmm. Big Lou, we can highlight this one since you had nothing come off. Now, how do you feel about the Justin Jefferson trade prediction from ways back, a long time ago that was now?
That was a long time ago. I feel like you can probably read that now.
Yeah, you never know.
But you never know.
We've seen
gonna
Percy
happen?
Harvin. We've seen Diggsy.
Yeah, what was it, Kwesi that said that Justin Jefferson isn't even on the table, but you never know what it might take to get a higher draft pick if we truly need one.
Isn't Big Lou's top one technically correct right now? Because Dobbs and Kirk are both not on the Vikings.
Technically, it is, but
They can still re-sign Dobbs right now. But
they could. I was thinking more. They could cut. They could cut Mullins
I see what
or
you're saying. Yeah.
Jaron Hall, because if they draft someone, are they gonna roll with 4? Like if they draft someone in the first round, what role does Nick Mullins have anymore at all? Since
Well,
he's
hold on. So
too.
is this on the Vikings in general, including practice squad, or is that active roster?
That's a good one. Good point.
Yeah, I never really thought of that.
I don't think any of us did.
We don't really think on here. We just say stuff.
I'd say practice squad. Oh,
I mean, because
tough.
practice
That's what I was
squad
thinking
is
too,
still
because
technically
it's pretty rare to have
on the Vikings.
quarterbacks on a roster.
How about this? We'll say on their 90-man roster. What if we just do that?
That'll work.
Okay, we'll go by their 90-man when they start training camp and see who's on there. Either way, yeah, they could cut one of those guys. It was less about them signing Dobbs and more about them cutting one of those 2 guys because they don't have that much of a purpose anymore. I mean, they do, but not on the Vikings. Everyone has a purpose. I just want to make that clear. Everyone has a purpose.
Unless your name is Nick Mullins.
Unless you're Sean Mannion, then your purpose is being a coach.
Okay. If it were up to you guys, who would you rather keep as a third string if we draft one? Nick Mullins or Josh Dobbs?
Dobbs.
Jaron Hall.
Jaron Hall would be number 1. Dobbs would be number 2.
I'll take Jaron Hall as well. I don't want Dobbs or Nick Mullins. I think Jaron Hall's the best out of the 3 of them.
I wouldn't even say he's the best. He's just the youngest. That's my reason.
He has the most upside,
if there is any.
If there is any,
which isn't his fault. We haven't really seen KOC develop a quarterback yet.
Yeah.
Nick Mullins. I'm gonna make a golf analogy. Nick Mullins is like a par 5, and you make it on the greens somehow in 2 or 3, but you still finish with a triple bogey. That's Nick Mullins in golf terminology.
6 putt.
That's what Nick Mullins is for you.
Yeah.
Throws for 400 yards, but also 4 picks at the same time.
Hey, so he can drive for show, but he can't putt for dough.
On the green in 2 and then 6 putt. Big Lou, any golf comments you'd like to make? Big Lou is the resident golfer. I'm not saying he's a good golfer, but he is the resident golfer.
Expert of Soul of the Skull.
Hey, Andrew Crone got a golf simulator, and we were out there playing it till midnight almost the other night, and we
because you were trying to hit one on the fairway for once.
No, I actually did pretty good. I think I shot a 93 on there.
Well,
but we were playing in Alaska.
Oh, you guys ever played a golf simulator outside Big Lou? Because I never have, but I've always wondered what it's like.
I have, and it's really, really easy.
Yeah.
I will say the best round of golf I've ever played, I'm averaging double bogey on the course, and I think I was +2 on the whole course on the simulator.
Simulator,
Wow.
Did you chip for putting or what?
No.
What did you do for putting?
I think I still putted.
What?
Just putted really hard, yeah.
Huh. For us, you just chip close to the pin, and if you're within a yard, it's a 1 putt. If you're within 10 yards, it's a 2 putt.
Weird.
I'd still be getting 4 putts up in there. I'd find a way. We should get Sam O around where we are, and we should do a Soul of the Skull golf outing once or twice.
Outing.
We can do a golf outing over the summer.
It would have to be before May 14th or after August.
I can make it work.
August.
Okay. I can do it in May or August as long as before classes, obviously.
Well, yeah, it would have to be the first or second week in August.
Because Big Lou's classes started late weren't they like September?
Yes, but I got an RA position, so I will be at school 2 weeks before it starts.
Oh, let's all clap for Big Lou RA. Yeah, I'm assuming that must be free housing then.
Free housing, free meal plan.
Wow.
Second person I know that's been in RA. Also, I want to congratulate Joel on being a production manager at UTVS.
I am. Yeah, I had my interview yesterday. I got to dress up all nice and got hired for that.
Attaboy, Joel.
So I get to fix problems with equipment at the TV station here on campus. And,
you guys have a TV station on camp? I suppose you're like a broadcasting like majors there.
Matt Larson live there at this point.
Unfortunately, it has come down to that.
I see.
I'll have an office there, so that's kind of cool. I'll have my own office while I'm still a college student.
Wow.
It's not my own office. I share it, but I will. I can make it all Vikings lit. I'll probably do that to my apartment bedroom. I'll make that all.
You can do the podcast while you're working.
I could do that.
Hey, maybe you can get it to our episodes air live.
We can maybe we talked about this. Sorry to steal your thunder for there, Joel, but we talked about this. We wanted to film a little promo and we air it during ads.
We thought if we could make a commercial for Soul to Skull, we could get viewers probably just by making a commercial that aired. That'd be kind of cool.
Like on TV?
Well, yeah.
On SCSU channel, yeah.
I don't think we'd be able to make it work, but it'd be cool.
Yeah. Sure.
So
I know the production manager for our TV over here too. I'm friends with him, so maybe I could make some magic happen with that too.
Yeah, you never know.
All right, should we get back on topic? We're kind of way off topic.
Probably, but yeah.
Never on topic, Big Lou.
Fair
That's
point.
how it goes.
All our episodes are an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So that's that.
All right.
Matt said
10 minutes here. I got to leave. So.
Okay. Matt said this stuff. Fields would be the Pittsburgh quarterback. Ross would be a Viking. Harrison Smith's last season would be this year. None of them happened. He also said JJ McCarthy would be a second-round pick. And yeah. So anything to say about that?
It still could happen. Where is he in latest mock drafts?
Like 6 or 7.
Why?
Well, actually, I think Chargers have 7, so like 8. I don't know. In like the 5 to 9 range is where he's sitting right now. I agree with you. I think that he's not one of the top 5 quarterbacks.
A GM is going to lose his job.
Will it be Kwesi?
It could definitely be Kwesi if it doesn't work out.
I think if the Vikings can put together a run game, he wouldn't do terrible in Minnesota.
Well, yeah, just have the same situation he had in Michigan. I'll be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
Sam O had some, but he's not here. He said they'd sign one of those 3 guys, and they signed Darnold. He said Edina wouldn't win the state hockey tournament, and they did. Edina and Matt's beloved Cathedral won. So that's that. Matt, how many players on the team would you say you know, or at least have talked to before?
1.
Oh, is it the goaltender and that's it?
No.
Oh.
He has been to my house, though.
He played very, very well. This was my first time ever getting into the tournament was this year, and I did notice that Hansen, I forget his first name. What was his first name? Nick Hansen, very good in the crease. Made lots of great saves. So that was that. Sam O said Kirk would be the starting quarterback and it'd be under $40 million per year. Neither happened. So that's it for that. So Sam Z has a segment for us. Is it trivia? It
is trivia.
So it's not this, right?
No, it's not that.
Okay. I was just making sure. Then we're going to take it down.
Okay.
He has got trivia for us.
I got to head out, guys. I got some stuff to do, but I'll see you
guys.
guys.
Sounds good, Big Lou.
Goodbye. See you, Big Lou.
Okay.
Now we can roast his golf game, and he can't defend himself anymore.
Okay, so my thinking was, how well do you guys know your previous number 1 overall picks?
Ooh. Probably not that well, but maybe.
Okay. I want to list off some notable ones, so to speak. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And you can ask yes or no questions, and we'll just do the total between you two of who can get the most.
Is it like recent or some non-recent? Could be anything.
So we're going to start in 2001. I'm going to skip a couple that we probably don't know. 2001, you guys should know.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm ready to start whenever you guys are.
So are we just going to ask a question?
So yeah, you two can decide who goes first, but yeah, you can ask yes or no questions.
So it's kind of like the other one is in a way.
It's kind of like the other one, yes. Except we're gonna go through like 15 to 20-ish players.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you two decide who goes first, and then yeah. So we'll start with 2001.
Okay. If you got one, you can go.
Was it an AFC team or an NFC team?
Yes or no questions?
Was it an AFC team?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna take out a piece of paper.
Okay.
So I can write these down. Okay. So you said it was an AFC team, but the answer was no, right?
Yes, it's an NFC team.
Was this player
quarterback?
Was this player
yes.
quarterback? Okay.
Quarterback?
Yeah. Quarterback.
Is he in the NFC North?
No.
Okay.
Randy, if you're still here and you want to guess, go right ahead. You can save us some time.
We'll take comment guesses too. Was this player like productive in their NFL career? I know that's kind of hard to quantify, but
incredibly productive. Yes.
Okay.
Are they still active?
No.
In 2001?
2001, dude.
Okay, yeah. Tom Brady was an exception.
Active?
Tom Brady was the only.
Joe Flacco's still slinging it. I know he was never a number 1 overall pick, but he's old.
Not as old as Tom Brady, though. Tom Brady was the oldest player in the NFL, wasn't he, when he retired?
Yeah, he was like 44.
And then wasn't he drafted in 2000?
He was drafted in 2000, yeah.
Because I know the oldest player right now is Jason Peters, but I don't know when he was a rookie, so who knows. Was this player, did they play for the same team their whole career?
No. Let's see. He played for 4 teams.
Okay.
I don't know if people really know about the last 2. I definitely didn't. But he had a 7-year stint with his first team and a 4-year stint with his second team.
Okay. Got it. By the way, it is your turn, Matt. Unless you have nothing. Because I have one.
I got nothing.
All right. Is this player in the Hall of Fame?
I believe so. Let me check.
Okay. I guess that doesn't provide a whole lot, but maybe.
Okay, so no. I don't think so.
Okay.
No, he's not.
Got it. Let's think if we can
Have they
get
ever been on the cover of Madden?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I know this is not who it is, but has Matt Stafford ever been on a Madden cover? Anyone
I don't think so. Yes, he was for 1 year.
Okay. Was this player drafted by a team in the NFC. We're gonna say South.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow, I just got a light bulb. I hope this is right.
Think you know who it
Michael
is?
Vick?
It's Michael Vick.
That's a good one.
So Michael Vick was the number 1 overall pick to the Falcons in 2001. All right. Maybe let's skip a couple. Let's go 2004.
Okay.
2004.
Is this player active?
No.
Okay.
Was this an offensive player?
Yes.
Was this player a quarterback?
Yes. I'm just going to tell you guys now the majority of these guys are going to be quarterbacks.
I
It's
figured.
usually who number 1
You never
picks
know.
ultimately end up being.
Yeah.
Was this player considered a bust?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Were they drafted by an NFC team?
Yes.
Have they ever won an MVP?
That's a good question. Yes, he won it twice. Do you guys want the years?
Sure.
If it's an easy
2012.
2008, 2012.
Yep.
Okay. As I was going to say, if the year was a giveaway, you didn't need to tell us.
It's not really a giveaway now. They're
good,
kind of
because that didn't help me out at all.
Yeah, I didn't
really
think it would.
I feel like 2012 would be like Adrian Peterson MVP era. I mean, it's not obviously, but that feels like that time. That feels like that time.
He won it in I think he won it in 13, didn't he?
It's probably right
That was the
around
year he almost broke the rushing record.
Let's see. Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Holding offense number 74, aka Big Lou.
Okay, hold on. My previous information was false. Adrian Peterson did win it in 2012. What in the world? Oh. Okay. I was mistaken. So this guy was MVP 5 times. So he was an MVP in 2004, 2009, 2013. Oh wait, so sorry. 03, 04, 08, 09, and 13. He was MVP.
Say those numbers again.
03,
Okay.
04, 08, 09, and 13.
So wait, this dude was drafted in 2004 but won MVP in 03.
That's
Oh,
this might be.
My head is spinning.
Holy crap! Okay,
this is a not responding wheel.
The Windows Air is
ridiculous. Okay, 2004.
Okay, so not
he was MVP.
So his rookie year.
His rookie year, I believe.
Wow, good for him.
Oh, just kidding. No, okay. I was getting bad information from bad websites. No, he was never MVP.
We just went from 5 to 0.
I'm sorry. He should have been, though. He should have been at some point in his career. I will say that.
Wow. I really do love how we just went from, it wasn't 5 to 4 or 5 to 3. It was 5 to 0.
Yeah. That's on me. That's on me.
Right.
The thing that I read off before was Super Bowl MVPs.
Oh.
He was that twice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it'd be fair to give you guys that since I messed up.
Wait, that actually might help. Let me think about years here. 2012. 2008. 2012. Let me think through this. That would have been. It doesn't matter that much if I get it or Matt gets it. Wouldn't that have been like Ravens Niners time? Wasn't that like 2012? Or is
No,
pretty dang
that
close?
was not the Super Bowl in 2012.
Oh, it must be close though. It was right around then. Did this player win those Super Bowl MVPs with the team that drafted them?
Yes. Wait, no. Sorry, disregard that.
Got it.
Okay, this one's a weird one.
Is this player even real?
Yeah.
Is it a real human?
Okay. So, okay, this one sucks. I regret picking this one. So, okay, the team he was drafted with, he never played a snap for.
Okay.
And if I say any more about that, it could give it away.
Okay. Did this player play majority? So not the team that drafted him. Did they play majority of their years with the same team though?
Yes, all of them.
Oh, so all but the team that drafted him.
All but the team that drafted them, and he has been a starter since his rookie season, I believe.
Interesting that a team would draft someone number 1 and then trade him away without them playing at all. That's been interesting. But
interesting.
Never know.
Matt, what you thinking?
Is this team in the NFC East?
It is in the NFC East.
Okay. The team that drafted him is?
No.
The team he played for.
The team he played for, yeah. I've been going off the team he played for this entire time.
Sounds good. Yeah, that works. Let's think about this here. Okay, can't be that guy.
Was this player a Philadelphia Eagle at some point in his career?
No.
Oh.
Who did you think it was?
Donovan McNabb.
McNabb played for the Vikings, though, so that's how I knew it wasn't that.
Vikings, yeah.
Let's think here. Oh, I got it. It's Eli Manning.
It is Eli Manning. You're right.
I was thinking Eli Manning, but I was like, it couldn't be that easy.
Traded to the Giants during the draft. He won Super Bowl MVP in 2008 and 2012.
So who technically drafted him then?
It was the Chargers.
San Diego Chargers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was the Chargers.
Because I know they drafted Drew Brees. The Chargers did.
Yeah.
And then he got sent to New Orleans pretty much right away.
Yep.
Okay. Good one. Should we do one more? Because we're at 1-1. This will be the last one. Then we can do more like next week or other times. How about that?
Okay. Pick a number between 1 and 15.
4.
12.
All right, we're going to go 12. Okay, we're going with the number 1 overall pick of the 2012 draft.
Ooh, good one.
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton was selected first overall in the 2011 draft.
Oh.
I'll give you the guy that was drafted in 2013 as well.
That was Eric Fisher.
Overall, Eric Fisher.
I did not know Eric Fisher was a number 1 pick.
He was an offensive lineman.
Number 1 pick.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Is this player a quarterback?
Ding, ding, ding.
Okay.
It is a quarterback.
That helps significantly. I already might have an idea. I might just take a guess. Is it Matt Stafford?
Not Matt Stafford.
Oh, dang it.
Matt Stafford was taken in God, when he was taken in 2009.
Oh. Were they drafted by an NFC team?
No.
Did they play majority of their years with the same team?
I think all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, he played all of his years. Yeah. Yep. He played all of his years with the same team.
Has this player recently retired?
I have an idea then.
Define recent.
Like in a year or two?
No.
I have an idea of who it could be again. Are we doing it where it's like nonchalant where I can just guess because who cares?
Sure.
Okay. Is it Andrew Luck?
It is Andrew Luck.
Oh,
Yeah.
Joel, did you get all three? Oh,
No,
wait,
he
no,
got
I got the first one.
He got Michael Vick on the first one.
Is Robert
Right,
Griffin
well,
the second?
Joel wins unless, Matt, you want to try to settle the score with one more.
No.
I'm trying to think, why did I think about Andrew Luck? I was just thinking about AFC teams. And then he said they retired recently. You said no. Then I thought, because Luck retired early. So
Yeah, he retired in 19.
good game. We should do that again sometime. That was actually fun. That was a lot of fun. And what's the fireworks? Which one is that?
I think it's this one. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Does Sam O is his message? Oh, he's talking about that. Otherwise, I think that does it. Unless anyone has any other final thoughts, that does it for this episode. Thanks for watching. We'll see if the Vikings have any more groundbreaking moves, but it seems like kind of the big wave of free agency is, for the most part, over now. So things could happen, but not the super huge stuff anymore. But we'll just have to see. We'll be back again next week sometime, probably Thursday, but we'll just have to see when it works for everybody, as we plan to hopefully do Thursdays in the future. Otherwise, that's it. Have a good night. Peace out. And as always, SKOL Vikings.